This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
Right now, if you had to identify the Avs' chief rival, the biggest rival, the one that gets your blood boiling, don't blurt this out. All right, don't blurt it out. Have the image in your mind. Who is the one despicable opponent that you always want to beat, that you can't stand? Who is the rival of the Avalanche right now? Go ahead, Brett, you first.
No, let Moj go first.
All right, Moj, go first.
Well, Minnesota's inside the division, but I don't
All right,
like,
you get that's it. That's it. Don't stop talking.
Okay, well, I want them to
stop talking.
I don't like Vegas. Vegas.
Well, then answer Vegas. Why did you say Minnesota? It's Vegas. I said the same thing. It's the first thing that comes to mind. It's Vegas. It's the horn. It's the PA announcer. It's all the song and dance in Mark Stone's face. It's all of it. It's Vegas.
No.
Do you realize, Brett?
It's different for me.
Brett, do you realize the speaker system?
Oh, I hate Vegas. There's plenty of teams I hate. No, not for me. You can't tell me who I hate the most.
All right, who is it?
The St. Louis Blues and Jordy
You're so dumb.
They can get wrecked.
It's just you're dumb.
Get
You're dumb.
wrecked.
You lose your rights.
What do you mean?
Nelly, take his rights away. He loses his rights to identify a rival.
Just a couple short years ago,
You lost your rights today.
Just a couple short years ago, one of the Avs players needed a police escort to get on the ice.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
The pass that he made to Aaron Gordon that's my favorite pass that I've seen in my lifetime.
It's a career highlight reel pass.
Unbelievable. And just the overall, you could tell Nikola Jokic, maybe it was good for him to get start healing up. Clearly he's been banged up, but he looked good. He looked fresh, and more importantly, he looked mentally fresh. And that's I think that's a net positive for this Nugget team.
Have you thought that he's been anguishing?
No,
all year.
No, it's just almost. I feel like as a fan, there's a little bit of taking Nikola Jokic for granted. Can we all, as we're driving around in our cars and listening on our Alexas, can we all admit that?
I have done my very best not to do that because I know that the time with Jokic is fleeting, and there is a good chance, just look at the landscape of the league. There's a good chance that in your lifetime, you will never see the best player in the NBA on your team here in Denver ever again. You will die before you get the next best player in the NBA.
And I think
that's what the numbers show.
We all say that we're going to appreciate it at all times, but it's different to actually appreciate it at all times.
The way that I have found myself appreciating it more is through hatred of the MVP race. Because the rest of the league is going, well, he's done it before. He's won 3 straight times. It's Shea's turn. And I'm not trying to knock Shea Gilgeous-Alexander down. Like, he's leading the league in scoring by 360 points.
Great player,
his team
great
is
athlete.
great.
Yeah.
His team's great without him, but his team is even better with him on the floor. I'm not hating on him, but the reason why he is running away seemingly in the narrative right now at the MVP is because people are tired of Joker. That's what has fueled my I'm not taking this stuff for granted. I'm enjoying this every single time out.
But last night was a great reminder to all of us just how good Nikola Jokic is. How clutch he is at the end of games. And last night was on full display again. The game got a little bit too close for comfort yet again against a team where you should wipe off the face of the earth. But you know what? At this point, just continue to make the proper strides toward the postseason to play good basketball and be in the best possible headspace. And let's stop evaluating, you and I've already talked about this many times, stop evaluating the aspects of what it ends up looking like and just move on and see what we got in the postseason.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Does Russ need to change anything going into the playoffs?
Russell Westbrook?
Yep.
Yeah, he needs to sit on the bench more.
Yep. Or if he's not sitting on the bench, he's got to change the way he plays a little bit.
It's the whole Russell Westbrook thing is, to me, like, this is done. This is he ain't the guy.
I don't know. I still love the defensive effort. I still love the dog mentality.
I got it, but
I don't love the 165 turnovers per game.
He only had one last night, but the Russell Westbrook magic to me is just it just ain't there.
His issue, you know what? If he could just be an okay shooter, because
that would be
now
great.
if you notice every game they're playing 10 feet off of him,
and that's what
which is what they did. To be honest with you, what they did when he first came in from UCLA, because the knock was
his shot looks awful. His shot, just the truth. It looks terrible right now.
It's got a side spin.
You watch him. I'm watching him launch it, and it's just you can tell right off his hand. This thing got no shot. It doesn't look smooth. It doesn't look fluid. It's not on target.
I don't think he's going to sit on the bench in the playoffs, though.
No, he'll be in the rotation, but I don't know. It hasn't really worked with him and Jamal on the court at the same time. This season's going to ride on Jamal. Jamal and Jokic are both going to go 42 out of 48 minutes in the playoffs, as is. Maybe more. Maybe literally more. So, I don't know. What does he have to do? Probably nothing. He's probably just going to get less and less minutes. He may be 10 to 12 a game, something like that in the playoffs, maybe.
So, mock draft, if you're the Nuggets, what do you look for in the draft next year?
Shooters, depth, big guy. I mean, I looked at Vlad Golden for Michigan, and I'm just like, when are they going to get a legit, no doubt about it, center to back up Jokic, period? A younger guy. Not De'Aaron Holmes looks like a nice enough player, but he ain't a center. Not really.
He's like an AG, right?
But yes.
But taller.
Well, he's taller, yeah. But yes, similar. I mean, he can go inside. He's not exactly Michael Porter Jr. is only an outside guy. But I'm looking at this Vlad Golden, and it doesn't have to be Vlad Golden, but it stands out. Guy's 7'1" and probably grown a little bit, and is just a flat-out center. When are we going to get one of those guys? I mean, is DeAndre Jordan coming back for year 300? Like, what's happening there? No is the answer. The DeAndre Jordan thing is done. It's fun watching him play and getting the alley-oops and all that, but clearly, if this guy can't get off the pine for 2.5 weeks or whatever it was, he ain't the future. What's this, Dan? Talk to me.
The Nuggets don't have a draft pick this year.
What? I don't have any draft picks this year.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
What's worse is I've seen that pass now from every angle. You know, it is Joker spinning, but then turning back over his left shoulder, but then flipping sort of over the shoulder, two hands, not making eye contact at all with Aaron Gordon, but AG just knowing exactly where he had to be, and Jokic making the play. And yeah, there's an angle of the play from behind Joker where that's the best angle of watching Brook Lopez literally move out of the way of the ball because he thought a pass was going to go to the corner, and it just zips right inside on him. What is more, if you're Brook Lopez, would you rather get yammed all over? Just have somebody posterize you? Or would you rather just get completely bumfuzzled by Nikola Jokic and him throwing a pass to where you were standing, but you moved out of the way because he manipulated you with his eyes and his movement and everything else? Like, what is actually more embarrassing if you're a big
I
man?
love the question. Spring, can you make that a poll question? We need a poll. Let's poll question that on the Altitude hand.
Is it worse to get
X?
Let's put it this way.
Worse to be dunked on?
Yeah.
Or have Jokic just make you look the fool?
Is it worse to be posterized via dunk or pass?
Or pass.
Yeah.
Because you're right. And the Nuggets sent out a picture. Matter of fact, no, it would. You know what? I take it back. It was our guy. I think Dan Hyatt. Sport is art. You know that handle.
Yeah.
He froze the video in the perfect spot where Jokic isn't looking, Lopez isn't looking, the ball is mid-flight, and Aaron Gordon sees it coming.
Yep.
So, I don't know, because you certainly, where are you getting dunked on? How about that?
Well,
like, if we're both in the air and you're just putting it over me, I guess I can handle that. If you get if you get Mozgoffed, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
That's probably the top of the embarrassment tree.
Yeah. If remember the French guy from the Olympics that Vince Carter jumped over?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, if you're Mozgov getting teabagged by Blake Griffin, that's really, really bad. That's
But what
rough.
happened last night? I mean, I almost, like, again, if we're both in the air and I just didn't stop your dunk, I can probably live with that. You just made me go running to the wrong side of the floor. I didn't see anything you just did. That is, I look lost out there. You moved me out of position. You made me move from the perfect defensive position with your Jedi trick.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.